Good evening and welcome to the resume preparation session. Yes, it's Thursday again, and here we are again, the resume preparation session by 360DigiTMG. Now, do you remember during your demo time, we said that we will be having exclusive resume preparation session. But here, this is not a complete exclusive resume preparation session. This is just a part of it. Now, we have explained what that exclusive resume preparation looks like, right? So, carrying this along with whatever we explained before, of course, you know that, and combining both of them is a really deadly combo that is really, really helpful for you and for your resume. So, again, I welcome you to the resume preparation session. So today's topic is mastering impact, drafting your resume with action verbs and power words. Now, the basic question is why is it important to have action verb or power words in your resume? Well, before we start, I'll request you if you're watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? So let's start with the session. So, as we are discussing, while why crafting your resume as per the action verb and action and power words is really important. Now what happens is if you are making a resume and if you are just using some sluggish language, that may not be that impactful, that may not impact on recruiter's mind. I understand nowadays it's all ATS friendly resume we want, right? So even though if that's the case, even ATS will understand this when it understands natural language flow. What resume is more impactful and which resume is not impactful. All these things are clearly understandable. It gives points, right? ATS gives points, and accordingly, your resume is ranked. So when you're using power words and action verbs, it's really, really good and reflects your resume in really good way. And when you reflect all these words in your resume stands out. So let's start with the session. Agenda for today that we'll talk about action words and power verbs. So what is the power of action verb? What is the strength of power words? Why do we need to quantify our achievements? And taking your language to the job. What language do you need to use in your resume? What are the common mistakes that you should avoid? And what are the final tips or best practices that we would suggest for your resume preparation? Now, overview of action verbs and power words. First of all, what are these action verbs? So, action verbs are those impactful verbs that actually help you to accomplish your role properly or to define your role properly. For example, managed the team of 100 people. This is action verb. You are managing something and you just write manage team of 100 people, right? 100 team members. That's really impactful. Power words enhance your statement, making them more persuasive. Now, think of it. You are writing a statement, and if it's not persuasive, if it's not something that will attract someone's attention, then it's really difficult to gain that, right? It's not good. Well, using this strategically can make your resume stand out in competitive job market. We all know this job market is really competitive. And if you are not using those action verbs or power words in your resume, it's not making that impact. Of course, you're lagging in the competition. When there's a lot of competition, you should be prepared to give tough competition to the competition, right? Not the opposite. So the power of action verbs. Now, definition, if you see, what are action verbs? Well, action verbs are the verbs that show measurable actions. Now, measurable actions means what? Of course, something that can be measured. For example, manage the team of 100 team members. There you go. Achieved 90% accuracy in the economic success criteria. Well, 90% accuracy for the model or 90% increase in the revenue, all these things. Next, usage. When you start your action verb, when you write your action verb, you need to start it using the bullet points with action verbs to highlight achievements. Again, quantifying it. We will be talking about that. Example, implemented a new software system, increasing productivity by 20%. Now, what is here? Here, implemented a new software system. This implemented is a action verb. See, again, it's a verb. Someone is implementing that. But again, it's a very powerful word. And the first word they're using. This is how we write action verbs, or this is how we use action verbs. Now, the strength of power words. Now, again, action verbs are also called power words. If you ask me to define it, well, words that enhance the description, adding strength and credibility. Now, think of it. I was managing 100 people. Or, was the second word? Managed a team of 100 members. There you go. This is more dynamic, gives more strength to your sentence, and yes, increases credibility, increasing the belief when you quantify it. Talking about placement, using summaries and skill sections. Talking about placement, not that placement, of course, not job placement, but placement of these power words in your resume. Where can you mention that? Well, you can use this in summary. Summary where in summary, when you write professional summary, it is really, really good to use action verbs there. Why? Well, it is very short and it should be very crisp and impactful. Action verbs or power words do the same. Second, skill section. You can easily use your power words in skill section. Example, orchestrated a marketing campaign that elevated company's visibility. Now, quantifying achievement. Since start of this session, we are talking about quantifying achievement. What is the importance of it? Now, numbers make achievements tangible. You know, they actually make it believable that you have done something. Combination, when we say use verbs and metrics to detail specific result. For example, previously, we already discussed one of the points, for example, achieved 90% accuracy in the machine learning success criteria. There you go. You quantified it as 90% and you said you achieved. That is basically an action verb or power word. Example here again, led a team that boosted sales by 30% in 1 year. What is happening here? You are right. You are saying led a team. Again, lead, past tense, led, ended. You led that team and it boosted the sales by 30%. Again, quantifying your achievement. This is your achievement, right? And you're quantifying it. Tailoring your language to the job. Now, which type of language shall we use when we are talking about job description? Well, it should match your job description. When you're talking about resume, language that you use in resume, it should match your job description. Use similar language to the job posting. Job posting, that is job description. For example, they have mentioned some quotes. You should mention those particular words or quotations. Or you can visit the company's website, go to the About Us section, and read about the company and see which type of language they're using and which type of jargons they're using. You can use all those things again. Identifying keywords. You can incorporate key terms from the job ad. Again, whenever you see there's job ad, just take key terms and incorporate that in your resume. Customization example. Adapt phrases to reflect the job's requirement. You need to adapt phrases. We already discussed this to reflect the job's requirement. There are some phrases or quotations used in the job description. Use them. That would be really good. Common mistakes to avoid. Now, whenever we talk about resume, there are some overused words. There are vague terms like hardworking, right? Hardworking every single time, hardworking. It's not good. And there are other words. There are other words which are overused. You shouldn't use them. You should avoid them, or you should find a synonym for the same. Passive language. Use active voice for clarity and impact. For example, again, the same thing. Achieved a machine learning accuracy of 90% or achieved 90% machine learning accuracy. This is an active voice. If you see the passive voice, 90% achievement, 90% accuracy for the machine learning model was achieved by me. No, not at all good. Tense consistency. It should be consistent. For past jobs, use past tense, and for present job, use present tense. Be very specific. Talking about final tips and best practices, make sure you're proofreading before you submit your resume or send your resume to a company. It is essential to avoid errors. Basically, when you talk about your resume, it becomes a form of really good communication, right? An efficient way of communicating your view or about you to the recruiter. And make sure you're proofreading it. Make no grammatical mistakes, make no font mistakes, nothing. We have covered our videos in different videos previously too related to the same thing. Feedback. Whenever you make your resume, just get it reviewed by professional. There are professionals whose help you can take or a mentor for that matter. Take their help and get your resume reviewed. They will actually give you some suggestions, and those suggestions are really, really good. Talking about update, we need to regularly refresh your resume as you gain skills or experiences. Right? Update it, regularly refresh it. Now, when we're talking about resume, of course, you need to know about few famous job portals. Here, few famous job portals include Naukri.com, Shine, Indeed, Monster, Upwork, etc. A few Google search results show us that there are so many vacancies for data science, right, that you need to apply for all of them. Keywords for data scientist resume. Now, there are some keywords which are actually used in the resume, and we have given some of them. Right? Most of them are covered here. You can use all these things. When you talk about frequently asked questions, now there are some frequently asked questions in your interview. Well, prepare for them. We are just giving some frequently asked questions so that you prepare for them and you rock your interview. How could you have improved your career progress? What do you worry about? Give me an example of your creativity. How do you feel about working nights and weekends? Are you willing to relocate or travel? All those things. Well, all these questions are really important for recruiters to understand that, okay, this is how you function, right? And he or she can understand if you are the right candidate or not. Now, talking about being a right candidate, sometimes what happens is we actually know a few things and we don't mention in our resume, right? Thinking that we may not be that good. Well, as Francis Young said, don't underestimate your abilities. That is your boss job. Exactly, that's your boss job to underestimate your ability, but not yours. Make sure whatever you're learning in a really, really good way. Now, talking about contacting us, this is our toll-free number where you can contact us. If you want to mail us, or if you want to mail, you can mail at inquiry@360dtmg.com. And yes, you can visit our website 360dtmg.com. Well, I'll be taking you to the website after this session. Not after this session, but after the slides are over, where we'll need to see there are so many things, exciting things that we cover. Well, we talk about our offline locations like Hyderabad, Bengaluru, and Chennai. There are other locations as well. So, while you're watching this video on YouTube, I request you to pause this video and scan this QR code and follow us on Instagram. Pause this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yes, scan QR code and go to our LinkedIn page. And yes, I request you to follow us on LinkedIn. We have accreditation to international certification bodies like Microsoft, State University of New York, Future Skills Prime, Panasonic, and TCS. Now we're talking about 360DigiTMG, and we talk about all these things. Whenever we talk about resume, we talk about resume optimization hub. Today also we'll go to resume optimization hub. It's our gift to the community. Now, other than that, there are ML architecture assistant, there is animated learning. All those things enhance your learning. We have mind maps for easy internalization of concepts, all those things. Let's talk about those things. Here, this is our beautiful, beautiful website, 360DTMG. Now, when we can see our partners, which are industry leaders. We talk about popular courses. We talk about domain analytics. We talk about our differentiators. You can read about us, what our alumni say about us, and yes, career transition. Now, there are many people who are still undergoing career transition, right? All those things really matter. Career transitions matter. So you can visit our website and read about them. You can connect to them on LinkedIn and ask how was their experience at 360D10G. I'm very sure that will be really, really positive. Now, other than this, of course, our alumni work at different big companies. Now, talking about all these things, let me talk about mind map. Mind map basically is used for easy internalization of concept. Right? If there's any concept and you need to revise it again, go through mind map. Now, let me take you to the learning resources page. Well, it is completely dedicated to learning. The name learning resources suggests what is actually good. When we talk about it, what do you want to learn today? You can see what do you want to learn today in terms of micro learning. We talk about dynamic learning streams, right? We can talk about the upcoming sessions or the past sessions that we had. Talking about core learning resources, we have skill development and enhancement. For skill development and enhancement, we have digital learning library. We have AI design studio for machine learning. We have data skills assessment. All these things we have. Also, what we have for resume preparation, since it's resume preparation session, right? We have resume optimization hub. There we go. Resume optimization hub. Now, how do we use this resume optimization hub? Well, you need to click here and you need to upload your resume. Talking about job description, when you search for data science jobs, take the job description from here. And then, of course, I've taken that beforehand. You can paste it here in the resume mapper section. Of course, we have done all those things beforehand so that we don't waste your time and you save your time. Here, you take intern's resume, for example, and we are pasting the job description. And we compare. When we compare, we get to know that our intern's resume has just 18% matching keyword matching result as compared to what is required. Now, there are two things here, job required skills missing in the resume and job required skills present in the resume. For example, We say Bayesian techniques. Now, or ensemble methods. It's very important. Select any one of them and you can generate a resume or you can take interview questions. For example, you click on interview questions. Here you'll see you are in a position to get all those questions that you ask that are asked in interview. Here, all these questions, right? You don't need to go anywhere. When we talk about few words, we want to add add few words. For example, we will add like this, like this, like this, and generate resume. But it includes all those words and generates a new resume, so that you understand how things actually matter and how you need to position all those things in your resume, right? Now, this is basically regarding resume optimization hub. We call it resume mapper fondly. Now, after this part, of course, you can say fill the details. You can actually fill all those details, whatever is required here, and you can download the resume. You can select the template too, right? Whatever is required, you can clearly fill that and proceed further. Now, after this part, here, let me take you to one of the really important things that we have here in our website. That is AI Design Studio for Machine Learning. Here, you learn to make a project architecture from end to end, from this end to that end, from getting data to deploying the model. Right. Now here how it looks like. This is how it looks like. We talk about being a beginner, intermediate or advanced. We have all those architecture. We have architecture as a beginner, as an intermediate or as an advanced. Right. All these things we have. Now, if you are doing projects, for example, we say after 4 projects, we guarantee their job. We have job guarantee offer, right? And here, if you understand that how to make all this advanced architecture, even after being a fresher, won't you think you will be preferred? You will be preferred, right? Exactly. Now, talking about conceptual understanding and insightful learning, we have strategic learning maps, we have an innovative project showcase, we have animated insights series, all these things. Let me take you to the animated insights series. You see, be it GIF or video, everything is available here so that you can understand all these things related to Gen AI, data analytics, data science, data engineering, right? If you see, show more, there's so many things that are already done. For example, you take anything here and you will get GIF of the same. Now see this. Of course, it's taking time to load. This is how all these things are. It is really good concept. Make sure that you understand all these things and you use animated learning. Now, here, while you're watching this video on our YouTube channel, you can go to our playlist and you can see there are so many things that we are actually giving for free, right? And you can see when you see in a playlist section, there are videos on domain knowledge, and knowledge is really very important. There are videos on domain knowledge. There are videos on W, Power BI, SQL, Python. There's so many things, and all those things are free of cost, right? Now, use our resources. Use those resources and excel. Of course, you are our student, right? Now, make sure you're using all those videos to upgrade yourself, to update yourself, and update your resume. All those things you should do, right? So, here we talked about all these things, whatever is required in a really, really comprehensive way. Now, please allow me for today. let me take your leave so that we meet next week again with new content talking about your resume to make your resume better, right? And how to write your resume in a really, really good way. So till that time team, please enjoy your time, enjoy your weekend, and yes, happy learning team. Take care.